What's up, YouTube? What's up, Discord? Tomorrow we're going to have a bang of a week to start out. Canadian market is closed. It's a holiday up here, so there's going to be more action on the U.S. equities because there's no action on the Canadian equities. We've got Palantir earnings. We've got Axon earnings, AXON. Those are two that I'm watching. Okay. Palantir is obviously the one that most people are going to be watching. I had a Discord member asking me, why do you think this is going down? Well, look at it. Which way would it go here naturally? I mean, obviously people have been trying to short it since $10. This is 1 year, guys. This is 52 weeks. It's up 600%. Okay, the time to short is not at the bottom. The time to short is when it's up 600% year to date. When it's got a PE ratio of 673 with barely any EPS. The amount of shares on this thing, it's a joke. All I've done is dilute and pump. This thing's gone berserk for what I would consider, poor or minor reasons. Yeah, we get it, AI and this and that and the other, and U.S. defense. At what point are we priced in, though? At what point are we priced in? This is just since January. It's up 104% since January. But in 52 weeks, which is a very good gauge of a stock, it's up 500%. That's not, you'd think, okay, that's not very much of the float short. On 2 billion shares, it's a ton, right? It's a ton. So people are already predicting it to go down with their dollars. You don't need to look into, okay, all of the people hyping it up and posting in social media. It's where are the dollars going? And this is telling me a significant amount of dollars, big money investors are shorting it, because a lot of retail doesn't short stocks, period. They don't know how to play the downside of any stock. It's just a fact. Their news on Friday was a joke. It was a scam. It wasn't any news at all. I was already in my last video making fun of it in essence, because it's 10 billion was all they want to talk about is 10 billion. They don't want to tell you over 10 years. Okay? Over 10 years, guys. 2036, 2037. For starters, the deal was already in place. It wasn't anything new. The U.S. Army was consolidating dozens of contracts into one agreement. Not only that, it includes volume-based discounts. So they're going to be getting discounts. And it doesn't commit the Army to any new purchases. Okay? Through the enterprise agreement, the Army consolidated 75 contracts, comprised of 15 prime and 60 related contracts, into one contract, accelerating the delivery of the software while removing contract and reseller pass-through fees. It streamlined the approach, procurement timelines, ensuring soldiers have rapid access to the cutting-edge data, blah, blah, blah. Upside for Palantir, any net revenue was unclear. They might not even make money on this. Do you realize that providing services for people, especially the Army, it's not free. It costs money. It takes money to make money, is the time-old adage, right? That's why you'll have companies doing millions or billions in sales with sometimes losses. Take Uber, for example, guys. Uber hadn't been profitable until 2023, okay, where it made just under 2 billion. But in 2022, it lost 9.1. So if you're an investor or a bank or a lender, that's not good enough, right? They still owe, to this day, they still owe 11.12 billion USD. They are heavily in debt, right? So although you might have been using Uber for a decade now, the reality is the company is heavily in debt. And it doesn't appear to be coming out of that debt anytime soon. The whole thing with Uber was it was predicated on getting rid of people, drivers, and having robo-taxis, which hasn't come to fruition whatsoever, right? That's just one example, right? You've got CoreWeave I don't believe they've made any profit at all, right? They have a loss of 27.5 million operating loss, but they owe like $12 billion, right? Through all their investments and their expansion and this and that. So there's no telling how much profit Palantir will make from any of this, if any, right? We don't know, because expansion costs money. All their promises, maybe they can't come through on some of their promises or agreements. Those are going to come with fees or fines, or void certain contracts, right? We'll have to see. City expects revenue beat, right? Of course they do. Of course, all they're going to do is pump the stock relentlessly. Like, let's take a look at the analysts' predictions on Palantir. Oh, look, the average price target is only 112, not even. And it's already $40 over that. $43 over, right? You had Wedbush come out on Friday and say $160. And then you have this garbage investor who sucks. No one even knows. He doesn't even have a price target. 4 days ago, Loop Capital. You got RBC Capital hitting it with a sell rating, $40. He sucks though too. Rishi doesn't get his people anything. Rishi needs to lose his job. But I mean, you've got Deutsche Bank and Jefferies with 60 and 80 guys. Let's get a grip on reality. Palantir is drastically overbought. Lucky for it, the RSI on the daily dipped on Friday because it was approaching overbought. The MACD's crossing to the downside. You don't even have sport till 140. You've got 101 as the 200 EMA. A ton of these stocks have fallen right to the 200 EMA after earnings. Is this going to fall $50 a share? Probably not. Is it out of the realm of possibility when the stock is up 523%? Absolutely not. 102 divide 154. 102 divide 154 that would be a 33.8% drop. We've seen stocks this week dropping 25, 30, 40%. FLR was $57. It went to 37, guys. Fluor is a massive engineering company. Massive. How they dropped that low, I don't even know. We went long on it on Friday and it paid off, but it was down significantly. 37.62 divide 57. That is literally what we're talking about on Palantir. It dropped 34%. Align was down 39%. Align Braces, Invisalign. Don't think these companies aren't immune. Don't think large companies aren't immune to massive sell-offs. Okay? Because they aren't. And many companies, this is the chart over the last few years. Palantir is no different. I don't think all these tariffs, when the market was announced, 10% tariffs, okay, the whole S&P lost 22%. They just hit Canada with 35%, guys. This is not good. We're your second largest trading partner behind Mexico, and I'd argue we're your first. I feel like even that stat is not true. I'd argue we're your first, but let's just, for the sake of argument, go with the second largest. It's irrelevant almost, right? There's nothing bullish about that. Crypto had a bit of a sell-off over the weekend. Bitcoin regained $3,000 overnight, but I would think long and hard about which direction you think Palantir is going to go on Friday, because on Monday after hours, I think there is going to be significant money to be made to the downside. And at the very worst, you could strangle that play. If you think this is going to go have a parabolic pop, I mean, I think you're dead wrong. Friday it closed above the 13 EMA. You saw it dip, and then it closed above it. what's 140? 141 divided 154 is a 9%, an 8.5% drop. Well within reason. Look at Amazon. Amazon's numbers, guys, were absolutely phenomenal. They were phenomenal. I couldn't believe it. After they said that they had their worst ever Amazon Prime Day, you could have made hundreds of thousands of dollars on Amazon shorting it. Let's go 213. Divide 236.50. Amazon was down 10%, guys. Amazon? 10%? Guys, Amazon had a market cap of 2.75 billion. Or sorry, trillion. It lost $251 billion on Friday. It's only 2.49 now. $251 billion was erased from Amazon with magnificent numbers across the board. And Palantir is going to $1 trillion. I explained this before, guys. There's only 11 companies worth $1 trillion. We're not even in the realm of close on Palantir at $1 trillion. Whoever out there, whatever analysts are saying that, they should be put in jail. That's almost criminal. Companies by market cap USD. Okay? There's 11 companies. One of them Saudi Aramco. It's not even listed on the stock exchange. Nvidia, Microsoft, Apple, Google, Amazon, Meta, Broadcom, Berkshire Hathaway. Have fun buying shares for $500,000, $600,000. Tesla, JP Morgan Chase. Oh, this is Canadian. Damn it. I said USD. USD. I knew this was wrong. There we go. Okay. JP Morgan is not a trillion. Nvidia, Microsoft, Apple, Alphabet, Amazon, Meta, Broadcom, Tesla, Berkshire, and then there should have been, I could have sworn Taiwan Semiconductor was there. Maybe it fell off? 30 trillion Taiwan D. I swear to God, this is like $1 trillion US. Taiwan Semi. But I mean, this is what I'm saying, though. There's virtually no companies across the whole globe worth $1 trillion. And Palantir, which was $22 at the start of last year, July, is going to $1 trillion? Give me an effing break, guys. It's not happening. At least not anytime soon, okay? You know, Walmart isn't even $1 trillion, guys. Oracle, getting up there. This guy owns half of Hawaii, all to himself, right? Visa, MasterCard combined are $1 trillion. Netflix is $500 million. But yeah, Costco, 400. ExxonMobil, 460. It's not even on this list, guys. How far down do you got to go to get to them? To get to Palantir, PLTR. Or let's go Palantir. It's 21st. 21st on the list. But look, like we're talking, it's got to triple from here. Palantir's got to go to 500 a share to get to $1 trillion. Like, good luck. I don't know. And to think that they're going to do it right now, it's ridiculous. I don't know. You do you. I am definitely shorting on this going into earnings. If I'm wrong, so be it. I would rather be wrong than pretend or be one of those YouTubers who's trying to pump up a stock that's up 523% in a year. I think those people are evil. I don't think there's any sanity to it whatsoever. Other alternatives for the day will be Align. The CEO came out and said, I bought 1 million shares. Okay, so he came out and bought 1 million shares. Look at the price on that, guys. Palantir is immune. Palantir is immune to falling. 208 to 126. We bought the hell out of it in the Discord. I put up videos on it. I told people, get in if you can. Not financial advice. Get in. It went to 151 the next day, guys. 150 and change the next morning. First candle of the morning, sold off. We rebought, sold off. And again, another pump. And I had sold some puts here. It doesn't show up on this. It only shows shares. So these are like share buys. It doesn't show contracts. Close those out for a profit. And I think this potentially goes all the way back to 150. 150 and change, almost 151, right? Especially with that kind of show of conviction from the CEO. Now, take that with a grain of salt. We saw the United Healthcare CEO do the same thing and some of the other executives, and it didn't save it whatsoever. It just kept falling, still falling. I think even the other, I mean, we still had more bad news with the United Health. It's been in free fall. Here's another one for you guys. You think Palantir is immune? Palantir is immune. Palantir is special, guys. Palantir is special. They will dump any stock like a bad habit because they can make hundreds of billions of dollars on options chains when all you people are bullish, and all they got to do is flip a switch and a stock goes from 590 to 480 to 370 to 270 to 230. It's nowhere near the 200 EMA. You want to buy, maybe it's a buy, but in all honesty, Trump's trying to get rid of the middlemen around that country, and they're a middleman. But I'd rather be buying a stock that had a $400 per share drop. $400, 393. I'd rather buy a stock that had a $393 drop since November. Or you could even count it since April. Okay, 603. That's April. 606 to 237. I'd rather put my money in that long than Palantir, right? You do you. I thought I would put this video out, give you guys something to think about for this week coming forward. If you're not in the Discord, please get in the Discord. Link is in the description. Link will be pinned in the comments. And give yourselves a fighting chance at maybe being privy to some early callouts, right? We were all over a line. At least I was. I was making sure my Discord members were all over that. Navitas at $4, right? SRFM, you name it. This is the place to be. Thanks for watching, guys. Free.